Welcome to a brief tutorial explaining database controlled terms in Thesauri. First, let's take a look at how items are added to a database. Every item, be it a book, journal article, conference proceeding, report, etc., is reviewed and assigned terms that identify its main topics. You may hear these terms referred to as controlled vocabulary, controlled terms, subject headings, descriptors, or something similar. For this tutorial, we will refer to them as controlled terms. Controlled terms for an item, along with other descriptive information like the author name, publication title, date, and abstract, are entered in the database where it can then be searched for and found. Here are two similar articles in which the authors use different terms to describe the same concept. One article uses heart attack, an acute coronary event. The other uses myocardial infarction. All three terms describe the same concept and could be used as a control term. Which term will be assigned and which should you use to search? This is what the thesaurus is for. A database thesaurus is a cross between a dictionary, thesaurus, and directory. When you look up a term, the thesaurus will either tell you that it is a controlled term or what controlled term to use instead. For example, if you search the medical subject headings thesaurus used by databases like PubMed, under heart attack, it would tell you to use the controlled term myocardial infarction. If you then looked up myocardial infarction, you would find additional information about the term. In our previous example, although the authors of the articles use different terms, both articles are assigned the controlled term myocardial infarction from the thesaurus. An entry for a controlled term can look very intimidating, but offers a great deal of options to help you focus your search. Some features to look for are a definition of the term or scope note, synonyms you or authors may use instead of the entry term. In some cases, a list of subheadings are provided for you to choose particular topics to search for along with the control term. Additionally, there may be a list of more broad, narrow, or related terms. Sometimes these terms are listed in what is called tree form. Similar to a family tree, as you go down and to the right, the terms become more specific. The database may allow you to explode your search of the controlled term. Selecting Explode will search for apple, as well as anything listed as a more specific or narrow term. Thus, the database will return anything assigned the terms apple, or Red Delicious, or Granny Smith, or Fuji, or Cameo. There are several benefits to searching with controlled terms. A search using controlled terms from the thesaurus can find relevant items even if the author used different terms. To find information on tumors, you could search for all the synonyms authors may have used, like cancer and neoplasm, as well as more specific terms like cyst and sarcoma. However, if you looked up tumor as a medical subject heading, you would find that the controlled term used when an author discusses tumor, neoplasm, or cancer is neoplasm. Using controlled terms excludes irrelevant articles. The term heart attack will likely be mentioned in numerous articles. However, only items that specifically focus on heart attacks would be assigned the controlled term myocardial infarction. Thus, a search for myocardial infarction as a controlled term would not find articles if they were not assigned myocardial infarction as a controlled term. Controlled terms also help prevent confusion over the definition of terms. For example, a keyword search for mole could find items discussing, among other things, an animal, a skin discoloration, or a unit of measurement. To avoid this, you can search for the controlled term that defines your search topic. Let's take a look at how to use controlled terms in Thesauri when searching a database. Most databases that use a thesaurus will have a link to search it. Notice that each database names the thesaurus and controlled terms something different. For PubMed, the controlled terms are medical subject headings, or MESH for short. The CINAHL database's control terms are headings. Other databases have no special name and simply use thesaurus and control terms. Once you determine what the database calls its thesaurus and control terms, select the appropriate link to search for terms. In the thesaurus, enter the term you are interested in and search. The format will vary, but the database will return a list of control terms that closely match your search term. Most databases will allow you to search for items assigned the control term by selecting it and then choosing to add or send it to the search using and, or not to combine it with other search terms you already searched for or plan to add later. Additionally, you can usually click on the term to learn more about it, like its definition in broader, narrower, or related terms. Good luck in your searching, and don't forget you can always contact a librarian for help.